Hello YouTube. Thank you very much. That might have been a bit loud. Hello YouTube, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Dean the Vaping Biker, and today we're going to be doing a quick review. It's kind of a review, and let me explain why. We're in the middle of Stoptober at the moment, and there's a few devices that are out there. There's some decent starter kits. There are some mods and things that are great for people that just want a little pocket kit in there to carry around with them, to go to work with, and all that sort of jazz. And today we've got another one to show. This is a new one, and it is very, very dinky indeed. I've got a hair on my nose. It is very, very dinky indeed. Now then, it's also very, very affordable, which we'll go into it in a moment. And I just want to show it to you. Now, the reason this hasn't had the normal amount of testing that I would do on a device such as this is because it's a pod system. They're 18 milligram pods, and quite frankly, it's going to take me a year to get through a bunch of 18 milligram pods. I'm not an 18 milligram vapor, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. But because these are on offer at the moment, because we're in the middle of Stoptober, whether this is a kit that you want to just have as a carry to work kit, or whether this is something that you as a vapor, I doubt there's any non-vapors going to be watching me, but you as a vapor would recommend to someone else who smokes, then quite possibly this could be something to bear in mind. So that's hopefully what we're going to achieve today. So thank you so much for everybody in chat. This isn't a normal vlog, so I'm not going to go through everybody and say hello to everybody in chat and where you're from and all that sort of malarkey, because hopefully this isn't going to be a super long video, but I'm not ignoring you. If you do have any questions about this device, not about other devices in general, that's why we have the Monday Night Live, but about this particular device, then start your question with @VapingBiker and then put that in uppercase. That would be splendid and help me see it no end easier. So that would make my life much easier. I'm just going to make sure I've got the main chat bit open just in case. I doubt there'll be any super chats, but just in case, so I can see those as well. So let's get stuck into this one, shall we? Now then, I'm going to go for, I don't know whether to go for a split screen or go for a whole screen. Split screen, whole screen, split screen, whole screen. Let's go for a whole screen. So here we are. This is the Jack Vapor kit. Now I think we can probably lighten that up a little bit. The wrong way, Dean. So we can see a little bit more about what we've got going on. Now this is the kit that we'll look at in a moment, but what we're going to look at first is just the packaging. So fairly straight, simple. Now Jack Vapor is a company up in Scotland. They design and then outsource the manufacturing, but they've had sort of some quite solid little devices over the years. There was a nice little kind of slant topped little device that I really enjoyed a little while ago, and they have come out with some nice sort of single battery devices which I thought have been pretty damn good. Oh, we've got a thumbs down already. So, yeah, with this, we've got the Wii Vim. Now, there was a previous Vim. Now, I'll try and remember to post up the link to Vaping V1CK, Richard's review of the full-size Vim. But this is the Wii Vim, because it's smaller. And in Scotland, they say Wii, meaning small. So, that's what we've got on the packaging. Just a long, pretty basic box. Nothing to get too super excited about. On the top there, we do have designed by Jack Vapor in the UK. The Wii Vim is the ultimate beginner's device. I don't know whether it's that, but there we go. 900 milliamp hour battery, as you'll see there. Easy, no fuss, discreet, and packs a punch. Boof, done. And it is a 2mm tank, obviously, because it's in the UK. Now then, keep out of reach of children and pets. Yes, please. Thank you very much indeed. So we've got this as well as some pods that we will look at today. Let's get into undoing the packaging first and foremost. So you slide that out. Your Wii Vim is in your little in a little baggie going on there without a tank attached. And then we do have a USB. It's just a flat, regular USB cable. Normal USB on that side. Normal mini USB, is it, or whatever. Your phone charger USB on the other side. But it's a nice little flat cable if you want to use that. Now then, We do have a little bit confusing marketing in this, and I do want to sort of just touch on this briefly, because as we'll see, we'll have a little look at the website as well later on, and it kind of gets that way a little bit as well. But we do have the information here. This is this opens up to the Wii Vim battery. So there we go. Tells you a whole bunch of stuff. Tells you that 3.8 volts the green light shows, 3.4 to 3.8 the blue light, 3.1 to 3.4 the red light shows. So you do have a little bit of an awareness going on right there. But this one is for the Wii Vim, although I did get a flyer that was all about the regular Vim, which is what I was saying about, which was super confusing. So there we go. But no, it tells you everything you need to know. It tells you all of your basics about how to put it all together and all that sort of jazz as well. So, bosh. Now then, let's have a little look at the device itself. And this is it. And it's very, very light. For packing a little 900 milliamp hour battery in there, it's a super light little mod going on. Mod tank side by side combo. It's got this nice kind of, I don't know what material this is. This is some kind of plastic situation going on here. It's not 3D printed or anything like that, but we've got this logo going on in the bottom, but otherwise it's not too angry on the marketing side of things, which is good. We've got the nice big power button there on the firing button. You can see that lights up green when it fires, and 5 clicks and we're off, so no light, and then 5 clicks and we're on. And you can see that it's green because it's fully charged up. Now, we do have the USB charger on the top there, which ordinarily I wouldn't be a fan of. But because this is a side-by-side device, it means that the likelihood of getting moisture along this kind of area, unless you're dribbling while you're vaping, is pretty unlikely. Maybe I would like to have seen a little cover over there, though, just for extra security's sake. And also, you know, I mean, vapors as a group, we can be accident prone little people. So yeah, I would like to have seen maybe a little cover going over the top of that one. But there we go. There's that's the device, and it's as simple as that. Underneath there, you've just got a little Jack Vapor logo, and it doesn't get any easier. You've got these nice little kind of curved sides on the back and the front, and if we pop it next to an 18650 for a size comparison, you can see that it is pretty damn small. This has got a wrap on it from ModMaker, but you can see that it is a pretty damn tiny little device. So you know, the reason they're not got an 18650 battery in there, I guess, is because there wouldn't be enough space for the essentially like the switch FET side or kind of switch that we've got going on in there. So, you know, that's that one. But it is a tiny little device, and you know, if we compare it to, what can we compare it to that people might have? I mean, all the things that I've got on my desk at the moment, we've got the recurve squonker there. We've got even a Basium going on there. We've got the EOS 2. I mean, obviously those are 2 battery devices. That's the 21700. I haven't got any single 18650 devices to put it next to up on the desk at the moment, but it does give you an idea on size, if nothing else. So yeah, there it is. That's what it looks like. Now then, to fit these pod systems in, because unlike the full-size Vim, this one is designed for pod systems. And you push the pod down, and then you give it a little bit of a turn, and out it pops. And the way that works is in there, you might be able to see there's a little shelf that goes on in the side there. You've got your 2 contacts right at the bottom, and there's another little shelf on this side as well. And that's because on the pod system right here, on the pods, you do have these little kind of jutty-outy bits which sit underneath the shelves. So you've got a little kind of a grip section you might be able to see going on just there as well. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to pop that in. Underneath you've got the positives in the middle, the negatives on the outside. They're going to go against those bottom contacts. So all you've got to do is just pop it in, give it a little push, and then you twist it round until your grips are facing forward. And then once they're facing forward, you are then good to go. That's it. Now then, when it comes to the pods, the 2 types of pods, when they asked me what flavours I wanted, are these. Now this is the strawberry chew and the blackcurrant squash. Now then, They also do a tobacco and I believe a tobacco menthol, I think. So I think we've got a couple of different ones we've got there. And I haven't got those because I'm not really a big tobacco vapor, but I wanted to give these a go. And the reason I wanted to try these is I'm not really a big Nick Salt kind of guy. And I'm certainly not an 18 milligram 70 PG 30 VG vapor. I am absolutely not. That is not in my wheelhouse in the slightest. And that is the reason why this isn't the normal full length sort of testing period I would do with the mod. It's just because I'm not going to vape at this kind of strength that often, to be honest with you. And there we go. It might make me a bit of a big girl's blouse, but I don't care. Now, when you get these, they come pre-sealed like so, and so all you've got to do is you've got to tear that open. I'm just wondering because occasionally you will see in these that there are a few little droplets. You can see that of juice going around the inside, and if you are a new starter, then you don't have to worry about getting that on your hands, although it is a good practice to give your hands a little wash once you've done that. It is only 18 milligram at the end of the day. That is the pod. You can see that we've got juice all over the show on this one. It's not too much. It's not like we've lost a load, but it is a few drips. Now then, let me just get a little bit of blue roll so I can tidy that up a little bit and make it look a little bit nicer for you guys. Now then, when we get these, you pull off the bottom one first. Then we've got a little tape tab going on the bottom there. You will then undo that. You'll get the full length bit like so, and then you'll just peel that off. Then you'll pop it in your mod as we've just done, and away you go. Now, this mod will also do or use the regular size pods or the regular size tanks that Jack Vapor do as well. I think for their normal Vim, I think that's the one that they'll show. But for today, let's have a quick look at their website so you can see. I mean, this isn't a sponsored one. I've got to make you all aware of that. This is not sponsored. They did send me this, but it's not a sponsored post. So let me just go up their booth. We'll go on to some of that. Now, I've just got to move. You can't see it, but I've got a load of overlays and screens and things going all over the show. But I just wanted to show you the website. And that's the only reason I wanted to show you the website. In fact, hang on, because I need me again. I need me again because if I go up to, if I go up to that one and then go to that one, I'm in the corner there. Look at that, look. Whoa. Oh, moving things around, doing all sorts of silly things. Right, good. Here we go. Let's be having it then. So, this is the WeVim page. Now, this is where I said it can get a little bit confusing because whilst this is the page that you get when it says the WeVim, it also does talk about the regular sized Vim. The way you can tell the difference is the regular sized Vim has the big button on the bottom at the front there. The WeVim does not. So there we go. But moving down there, you can see that we've got a whole mess of information going through. We can see nice and the nice and easily the pods. The different flavors that we've got. They do have a little video on the site as well if you want to go and watch that. But they've got a WeVim pod bundle for $25.99. So that's 6 pods plus the WeVim as well at the moment if that's something you wanted to go up with. Now then, when it comes to the pods are $9.99, I believe they are. Is there the cost there? There we go. So yes, there we go. Bosh. $9.99 for a pack of 3. Now that is a little bit on the angrier side, but it is what it is. So that's what we're looking at with the cost wise. I think the actual WeVim by itself is cheap as chips, to be honest with you. There we go. WeVim as low as $12.99. So if you wanted to buy the mod on its own to put your own small little tank in there, then boosh. If you've got one of the Jack Vapor small tanks, then that's what you can do. So that's it. Right, let's get back into the camera mode. I can get rid of that big old screen there, and hopefully we can see what we're doing. And I can have a little look at chat and see what's going on in there. So let's have a little look. A few people saying hello. Hello to you guys. I'm looking somewhat on the ropey side today, aren't I? Hey. Let's have a little look and go with the vape quality. So obviously this is fully charged. Now I don't think this is a true mouth to lung. You can mouth to lung with it and you can very, very restricted direct lung. Let's have a little bit of both going on. So that's mouth to lunging, and it is a loose mouth to lung. Personally, as a starter kit, I would like it to have been a tighter mouth to lung. They seem to have made some effort to make the drip tip around about the same kind of circumference or the same size as a cigarette, as a sort of a tailor-made cigarette. So I would like the draw to have been a little bit tighter to go along with that as well, because I feel that would have been more kind of what a smoker would be useful. Sorry if you can hear the ice cream van fanning around on the outside, but I'm going to have another little vape while he comes past. So yeah, I mean, you can mouth to lung, but it is a loose mouth to lung. Now then, when it comes to sort of a direct lung, you can do that, although obviously that's not really what this device is aimed at doing. A loose mouth to lung is the way forward. Now, when it comes to the flavour on here, I wanted to try the strawberry and the blackcurrant because generally, a lot of sort of a real strong menthol is fairly easy to replicate, as can be a strong tobacco. So these kind of would give me an idea whether you're going to get the fruity flavour come through of the strawberry chew, or that blackcurrant, if that was going to come through and be all kind of nice and lovely. Now, as I said, I do have to preface this with, this is 18 milligram and 70 PG, which is absolutely not how I vape. I normally vape 3 milligram and 70 VG. Now, if you're unaware of what they are, basically VG is a thicker consistency. It's a smoother consistency. It can sweeten up a flavour a little bit. It can give you slightly bigger clouds as well, but is a little bit smoother on the throat. Now, this is PG, as I said, higher in the PG, and that means that flavour is going to transport a little bit better. But it also means that because this is salt nic as opposed to normal freebase nicotine, it means that you don't have that angry throat hit. And you certainly don't. You saw me just then lung hitting 18 milligram and a high PG, and I certainly wouldn't be able to do that ordinarily. Now, you can do that with this, which means it's not the throat scratchy kind of nasty experience of days gone by. So for that, I commend it. Now then, the one thing that I think is lacking, and it could be because I'm not used to this salt mix, it could be because I'm not used to the VG, it could be because I'm not used to 18 milligram, but I'm not really getting a whole mess of that flavour. I'm getting a little bit of it, I'm getting a little bit of it come through, but it's certainly not kind of punching me in the face with glorious mouth-watering flavour, you know. And I have vaped through a tank and a half of these now, a strawberry one. The half is the strawberry, and the full tank has been the blackcurrant, and it didn't kind of break in and start giving more and more and more flavour, you know. So I do need to make you aware of that. You do get a sort of a slight overtone of it, I would suggest, rather than an in-your-face flavour, but it's not, you know, boof. But then again, it's been a long, long time since I've had this kind of setup with this level of nicotine and this level of PG. So that could all be together with it, as well as the fact that I've got taste buds that are pretty horrific. So far too many years of smoking that have meant that my taste buds have taken a fair whack. But like I said, I mean, the positives for this: it's tiny, it's light, it's cheap, it's something that if you wanted to buy something for your friends to give up smoking, it's certainly worth a blast. For 25 quid with a pack of pods, it means that you are going to, you're not going to be shelling out a bunch of money. And it's also nice to have a cheap starter kit that's not a pen or ego style, you know. Having something like this is nice and pocket friendly, it's nice and cheap, so you can stick it in your top pocket and jobs are good. Right, now, anyone saying anything going on in chat about this bad boy? I think possibly not at the moment. I know the Lost Vape Orion is much higher end device, but how do you think? I haven't had the Orion, but at sort of, isn't it like 90 quid, something like that? At that sort of price, I don't think that's going to be for your average everyday starter that doesn't think or doesn't know if they're going to like vaping or not. So, there we go. Like I say, I mean, loose mouth to lung, but I think this would have been really good. When I first started vaping, I had issues because back in the day, everything tasted pretty nasty. generally on the kind of the low end kits. Pretty much everything was horrible. The nicotine was really scratchy in the throat. You didn't get a huge amount of flavour come through, and it just wasn't a brilliant experience. Plus, you often got dry hits and all that sort of nonsense. Unless you're trying to direct lung this time after time after time. I've not had a dry hit issue for just mouth to lung kind of normal use, you know. So there we go. Is there any other questions about this device? There we go. I think that probably answers the questions that are in there. Glad it's not just me, taste-wise very muted on the blackcurrant. Absolutely, it's not. I mean, it isn't. I would have expected a little bit more with this high level of PG, to be honest with you. So I'd like to see Jack Vapor try and get a little bit more, or work on that blackcurrant flavour to get a bit more go in there. And the same with the strawberry chew. But having said that, if it's for someone that is coming off the stinkies, then quite possibly something like a menthol might do the job more adequately. Who knows? I don't know. But that's kind of down to you guys. Am I in focus? Have I just done this whole video not quite in focus? No, I think I'm in focus, aren't I? Yeah, boom. That'll have to do. But there we go. I think that's about it. Unless there's, I'm going to give you another 30 seconds. If there's any more questions about this device coming in, then do let me know. Otherwise, we're going to go off and have a wonderful Saturday afternoon. Like I say, I mean, it performs adequately. You know, it does the job. It's just very, very different to how I would ordinarily vape. But there you go. So, tanks are pretty good with the S coils though. So Graham says, yeah, absolutely. The weave, like I said, I hadn't had the regular size Vim. So go across and check out Vaping V1CK. Go and check Richard out, because I know he's reviewed the regular size Vim, so that might be worth doing. And if that's the same tank that fits into here, then he'll be able to give you a better rundown. I don't have one, so I can't tell you what that tank's like. But obviously the pods aren't refillable, but the other tank is refillable. So you can cheapen up that vaping experience a little bit more if you go with something like that tank, if you're going to know that you're going to like to chop out your flavours to more than you have available in the pods. So there we go. Right, good. I think we are good to go. I don't think what mAh is the battery? It's 900. So there we go. That explains that one. What was the price? I did tell you in a little while ago when I showed you the website. I think it was $12.99 for the mod, and 25 gives you is it $12.99? $24.99 is the kit with a bunch of pods in there as well. Oh, with 6 pods with the £25 kit. There we go. Boof. Thank you very much. Kismias. I know what it says, and I know it doesn't say Kismias. Good, right. We are done and dusted then. So it's just a little quick one, because I've been trying to get a review sorted out or another video that I've been trying to work on that's been more challenging, but I wanted to get something out. And because we're in the middle of Stoptober, look after your smoking friends, or at the same time, if you just want something to get you through the day that's nice and light, that's cheap as chips, then it's certainly worth a look in my